Hey guys, welcome back. Is the fear of failure holding you back from achieving success? Wow, that's one heck of a question, right? Guys, welcome back. This is Straight Talk, and I'm your host, Maria Cestero, and I'm actually a little excited to talk about this one particular topic. If your fear of failure is holding you back, I want to first say that you need to fail to succeed. I'm sorry I had to break it to you like that, but that's just the fact. You have to fail to succeed. And you're not going to fail once, you're going to actually fail a lot. And I am here to tell you, I have failed a lot in my life, but I've also succeeded. And that in and of itself is so rewarding. Without trying, your chances of success are 0%. I want to read a couple things to you because I don't think that many people realize some of the stories that are out there. And I really found these kind of fascinating. So I want you to consider these stories about who simply wouldn't quit. They just wouldn't quit. The first one is Babe Ruth. I know most of you must know who Babe Ruth is. Babe Ruth was one of the most famous home run hitters in the history of baseball. He had 714 home runs when he ended his career in 1935. That record stood until 1974 when Hank Aaron hit his 715th career home run. What many don't realize about Babe Ruth is that in addition to his home runs, he also had 1,330 career strikeouts. But he didn't let strikeouts bother him. Babe once said, "Every strikeout brings me closer to the next home run." Wow, right? So he literally was just about double in strikeouts than home runs, but he never let it stop him. Number two, Harlan Sanders. Harlan Sanders, also known as Colonel Sanders, is famous for being the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? So the Colonel faced many hardships because his famous fried chicken recipe wasn't an instant success. When trying to market his chicken recipe to restaurants, Colonel Sanders was rejected 1,009 times. In 1952, he finally persuaded a Utah restaurant owner to partner with him. And they together launched the first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. By the early 1960s, there was over 600 locations in the United States and Canada. I mean, come on, guys. Would any of you consider being told no 1,000 times to have the success that this guy had? 600 locations? That's major. Let's talk about Albert Einstein. The name Albert Einstein is literally synonymous with genius. He's one of the most brilliant scientists who ever walked the earth. But did you know that Einstein didn't speak until he was 4 years old and didn't learn to read until he was 7? When he was growing up, one of his teachers described Albert Einstein as mentally slow. Of course, when he grew up, he went on to win a Nobel Prize in physics, devised the theory of relativity, and came up with probably the most famous formula in history, E = mc². 4, let's talk about Henry Ford. Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, is famous for his innovations in manufacturing and coming up with the idea of the assembly line. Although Ford achieved tremendous fame, fortune, and success in his lifetime, he also had several businesses early on that didn't make it. His previously failed businesses left Henry Ford completely broke 5 times before he found success with manufacturing cars. Guys, he was completely broke 5 times before he found his success. You can't give up. John Grisham. John is a wildly successful author who has sold millions of books. many of which have been turned into blockbuster movies. Getting his first book published wasn't easy, though. His first book, A Time to Kill, was rejected by 28 different publishers before one publisher finally took a chance on him and printed 5,000 copies. Despite his rocky start, Grisham had gone on to sell over 250 million copies of his book. Wow. Wow. This is one of my favorites, this next one, Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is a famous movie star, but many of his fans are unaware of the struggles he went through to break into business. He was so strapped for cash at one point that he had to sell his dog for $25 in order to pay his electric bill. Just 2 weeks later, he wrote the script for Rocky and started trying to secure a movie deal. Sylvester Stallone was rejected over 1,500 times before United Artists offered him $125,000 for the Rocky script. However, the studio didn't want Stallone, the star of the movie. Back in the 1970s, $125,000 was a huge amount of money, but Stallone still refused it. United Artists upped their offer to $250,000 and then $325,000. Stallone wouldn't accept the deal unless he was able to star in the movie. He eventually accepted a different deal that paid him just $35,000 and a percentage of the profits. Fortunately for Sylvester Stallone, the original movie went on to gross over $200 million. The Rocky franchise, with all the sequels, had grossed over $1 billion. So if you're letting fear of failure hold you back from accomplishing your dreams, think about all these examples. How different would things have been if they had quit? If these individuals had been afraid to fail, they wouldn't have gone on to achieve the incredible success they enjoyed. Successful people embrace failure because they realize that there is no such thing as success without it. So guys, I wanted to read that to you because that is really very powerful. When you hear about those stories and you see those as, you know, I mean, come on, you're denied how many times? And they thought, you know, for Sylvester Stallone, they thought they were like, yeah, we're just going to give you this and ha, ha, ha. Well, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? So what about you? What do you deserve? How many rejections and no's are you willing to accept in order to achieve the success that you deserve? It's up to you. It's your decision. It's your choice. What are you willing to go through to get to it? All right, guys, thanks so much for listening in today. I appreciate it. This is Straight Talk. I'm your host, Maria Cicero, and I will see you all next week.